All right, with me this afternoon, I've got a 24-hour ride finisher, Mitch Bell, and I've also got his accomplished support crew, Chris Brennan, who jumped along and did nearly the whole thing in with as well. Didn't sort of get the credits, he was complaining about that a bit, but he very humbly did it as well. Before we go into too much depth, what's the overall riding emotion running through you right now?
Happy it's done. Yeah, ready for bed.
Chris?
I'm proud of Mitch.
Proud of Mitch? Oh, he's looking good, mate. So, it was an interesting journey, wasn't it? Highs and lows. At certain points there were those bits of jubilation and high energy, and there were certainly some low points. Let's start with the high. At what point did you guys feel the best and really sort of, morale was high and everything was feeling good?
Probably 11:30 last night, 11 and a half hours in, when the first Killcliff hit. felt like we were off to the moon, which was good, which quickly turned around at the 14-hour mark.
Few calculations being done about finishing early.
Thought we were 2 hours ahead of schedule. Found out we were 2 hours behind schedule.
Chris, what about you?
That was a high moment of mine as well, thinking I might get to finish 2 hours early as Mitch. Managed to kept his finger pulled out.
Yeah, I do remember that moment, and everyone was a lot of backslapping and may have been a little bit early, but it worked out in the end. And I don't like to dwell on the negatives, but it is all part of the fairy tale, I suppose, part of the story. What was probably the lowest point?
Probably the 4.5 hours to go, I reckon, when I put the calculations in and realised that I'd have to pretty well set a PB 20 hours into a ride to get anywhere near it. Knew I wasn't going to make it, so knowing I had to sit down for another 4.5 hours, it was heartbreaking. It was, sort of had an idea with about 7 hours to go that it was going to be tough, and then, with 4 hours to go, quickly figured out that it was, pretty well impossible. So that was probably the worst point, knowing that it was, out of reach, unfortunately.
Chris, what about you?
A few low points there, I had one about 6 a.m, personal low. It was good to be there to help Mitch out of his lows. That was sort of my main focus there today. But he found himself in some deep, dark places and stayed in control and clawed his way out of it, and showed some good courage.
Nice. So you're probably ideal. You don't want to make excuses. No one wants to do that. I'll make them. They're just parts of the story. You came in with a little bit of a cold, a little bit underdone. So that was probably ideal. But in terms of being 2 hours in and then finding out the record was 80 k's further than what you originally planned. Well, this is a record that this is a spoken record. No, there's no actual photographic. So to confirm, I suppose the only evidence that we could find of a record Mitch did beat. But so this is we can't actually find any screen capture or any information. But finding out the let's call it potential record was an extra 80 k's. What was the feeling there?
I didn't actually mind, because I initially came in with the intention of going past 600 anyway, so thought if I could go 606 that would be obviously the win, but it was it wasn't, it didn't really bother me until, like I said, probably the 7.5 hour to go mark, when I realised that this is it's a pretty hard effort from here on in, but it wasn't. It was a bit of extra motivation to go hard at the start, which I think I did quite well, but then unfortunately the body just didn't want to follow through for the last few hours.
There were quite a few people coming and going through the night. People, pre-drinks here, went out and came here after going out and stuff. And I think it was really great to have that support, and it obviously helped. And probably the biggest one was Chris there riding the whole thing with you. But Was there anyone you were thinking, I don't want your support, leave? You know, you've got
No, it was what's your wife's name? No, it was unbelievable having everyone here, whether they popped in for 5 minutes or 5 hours or whatever it might have been. It was so humbling. Yeah, I was really grateful to have everyone come in, just to sort of break up the monotony of the ride, whether it was a quick chat or a high five or whatever it might have been. Yeah, I was saying to Chris with about 4 hours to go that if he wasn't here, I'd be home by now. So I'd be sitting in bed with the screen turned off. So having people here to push me through, regardless of the result in the end, I think was really much appreciated. So.
What about you, Chris? What were you thinking when your sort of wife left at about 9:30, all tucked up in bed, happy, and you were?
I was happy I wouldn't be in trouble. I was happy I wouldn't be in trouble for breathing too loud.
Yeah, she was sort of saying she was a little bit
excited.
tired this morning as well. She rocked up here around 8:30 and she's a bit tired and a bit sore. You know?
Yeah, she's complaining a lot. She's complaining a lot about a lot of things at the moment.
So,
right,
you know,
Jace,
for the aspiring, 24-hour riders and the kids out there, sort of watching this, thinking, that's something I might like to do one day. What would be your advice?
Make sure you eat early and often.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think 2 cheeseburgers and 3 slices of pizza is enough to get you through the ride. So definitely, maybe just a few more calories would be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And could we see another potential attempt in you?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I reckon it'll be the last thing I do in my 24 hours of life. I reckon. So, just to get me across the line, I think just to take me to the dark side. That'll be it.
Oh, well, massive effort. Congratulations, Mitch.
Thank you.
Well done, Chris. Thank you very much. Massive support for you.
And we're done.